Hello, Charles Drew Scholars. It is Mr. Christian here. I hope that everyone is doing well. And today I wanted to share with all of you some ideas and some reminders about how you all can be safe during the summer. As you may know, there's only a couple days left of the school year. After this school year is over, you're going to have a long summer vacation. And I thought it would be great to share with all of you some tips, some reminders of how you and your families can stay safe when you are inside of the home or when you're also outside of the home as well. So let's get started with talking about how we can stay safe inside of our home. And here we have it's almost summertime. So when you are inside the house, you should never touch poisons. Now there are a lot of different cleaning items at home that can be poisonous to you if you touch it, taste it, or breathe them into your body. Some of these items can be maybe items you've heard about, like bleach or soap, or uh, maybe some types of sprays that they use for some types of insects. Make sure that you don't touch these items at all. You don't taste these items at all. You don't get any of these items in your eyes as well. It's better for you to have an adult or someone that you trust around you to use some of these items. Some of you may already be using these items at home when you help your parents clean the house. Um, but I do recommend as well that you wear gloves, that you wear a mask, maybe you wear like a sweater or any long sleeve shirt to make sure none of these types of chemicals get on your skin. So make sure you wear your gloves, the mask, some glasses or some goggles would be great to protect your eyes as well, to make sure that none of these chemicals get into your eyes. Um, definitely make sure that you avoid touching these items when you're alone. If you do want to help out with cleaning and such, um, talk to an adult in your household or someone that you trust for you to use these items in a safe way. We're also going to be talking about never to use a sharp tool without an older person's help, and to never touch guns. And the sharp tool that you can see here in the picture, of course, is a knife. Knives and guns are very dangerous items that people can use, and when they are in the hands of kids can potentially hurt themselves really bad or hurt others. So it's very important that we avoid sharp tools like knives and screwdrivers, and also weapons as guns as well. So if you do plan on using some type of like sharp tools like a knife and such, to have an adult with you help you like cut certain types of foods and such. Never at any moment touch a gun. If you see a gun that is out in the open, out and about, let an adult in your household or someone you trust that can be responsible enough to handle that gun and put that away. But you should never be handling a gun or a knife or any other sharp tool by yourself without anybody knowing. That is very unsafe and potentially can severely hurt you. Also, never keep secrets about touching. Remember that no one should ask you to keep secrets about touching or seeing private body parts that are yours. So you should never have someone say, keep it a secret or don't tell anybody. That is not okay. That is your body, and no one should be touching those private areas with you knowing, and then them trying to hide it away and keep it a secret. That is not okay at all. And these are the steps that you can do to if that is happening to you. These are steps that you can say for. So for example, you can definitely say no if they are touching you. in your private areas. You can tell them to get away, or you can run away from where they're at inside of the home and try to get away from them, and try to talk to someone that you can trust as well, and tell them, what's going on and how uncomfortable they're making you feel. So remember, never keep secrets about people that are touching you in very inappropriate ways, and they're in areas that are private body parts. Now let's talk about some things that you should do when you are inside of your home. You should, of course, get lots of sleep. All of your bodies are still growing, and you're going to need sufficient sleep every night to make sure that both your body and your brain are able to grow in a healthy way. Now, it's recommended that you sleep at least 10 hours every night. For some of you, those hours can vary, especially older kids like fourth and fifth graders. If they have 8 or 9 hours of sleep, that should be enough. But it wouldn't hurt to get a full 10 hours of sleep every night to make sure that your body is able to rest. Your body does grow when your body is resting at the end of the night, and you feel a lot more refreshed and ready for the day, the following day. Sleep is super important. I think of sleep as like the charger, and you, the person that falls asleep, you're the battery. So sleep is kind of like that charger that's charging your body up in order for you to have enough energy the next day to do any fun activities that you plan to do. Also, I know I'm pretty sure you've heard it a lot from people in your house, maybe even your teachers as well, from other friends, but eating your fruits and vegetables every day. You don't have to eat the same fruits and vegetables every day. You can definitely change it up. Like you can have an apple one day and an orange another day, but make sure that you eat fruits and vegetables every day with your meals. And they don't have to be right, a whole apple that you eat. You can definitely try to make, I don't know, like an applesauce as well. You can try to make maybe like a type of smoothie where you mix in different types of fruits and vegetables, right? You can have like a carrot smoothie and add some different types of flavors of fruits. But you can eat your fruits and vegetables a variety of different ways, but also make sure though that you have to eat them, not just only eating burgers and hot dogs and candy and stuff like that. Make sure that you're eating your fruits and vegetables because they're helping out your body grow as well. Also, and I know it's hard for a lot of us since we have a lot of technology everywhere, like we have a lot of phones and computers and laptops and video game systems around us, but try to limit you using these items to at least 2 hours a day or less. Um, you looking at a screen a lot for the whole day is actually really bad for your health and can make it harder for you to fall asleep at the end of the night. That bright light that you're always focused on that screen is really bad for your eyes. And since your bodies are still growing as well, we don't want you all to have any vision problems, right? And also, usually sit down or lay down when you're using items like a computer or a tablet or a phone and you're not being active. And remember that you also need to be active as well to keep your body healthy and to keep your body growing so that you're able to you're able to be as healthy as you can be as you're growing up and getting older. You should definitely try to limit how much screen time or how much you use technology every day. And of course, staying active for at least 60 minutes a day. It's a really big challenge I, for a lot of us to be active at home because a lot of us like to be outside, running around, maybe like on the playground, playing with other kids as well. But there are definitely some activities that you can do at home to keep yourself active every day. Some of it can be like, for example, maybe dancing to some songs that you like to dance to. I know a lot of you are using TikTok, and TikTok is kind of like a place where people do like different dance moves as well. So whenever you are using, right, that technology for the day, you can try to do some dance moves or do some type of, fun dance activities that you see on TikTok to get your body moving. There's also different things that you can watch online too, like Go Noodle. Go Noodle has a lot of fun videos that can help you get active, get moving, doing different stretches and stuff. But I definitely recommend that you talk to an adult or someone that you trust in a household to see how you can try to be active for at least 60 minutes a day in your home. And I like this tip as well. And drink lots of water. Usually in the summer, it gets really hot, and water for sure helps our bodies feel hydrated and being able to keep going with our day. And let's try to avoid drinking a lot of sodas. And we have those sports drinks right here in the picture, energy drinks and stuff. These drinks are not healthy for us, and you shouldn't be drinking more of these than water. You should be drinking a lot more water than these drinks down here. Another important thing is washing your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Washing our hands is probably the easiest and most simplest thing that we can do at home to make sure that we don't get sick. We use our hands a lot for touching, grabbing things, and as we know, or some of you don't know, there are a lot of germs and bacteria everywhere, uh, everywhere, on different surfaces like a desk or a table and places like that. So the easiest thing that you can do is to wash your hands consistently, especially washing your hands before you eat. So you make sure that your hands are clean enough for you to eat food and have none of those germs get inside your body and potentially get you sick. Some people just wash their hands with just water. You definitely need to add soap as well, and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds is important, right? And a lot of people like to sing the happy birthday song 2 times in order for them to know it's been 20 seconds that I did to wash my hands and such. Also, keep your hands away from your face to keep germs away. Try not to touch your eyes, nose, or mouth, and use a tissue instead. Yep, I definitely agree. It's very important for us not to want to touch, like rub our eye or touch our nose or put our fingers in our mouth, especially right now with coronavirus. So make sure that you wash your hands if you do touch that area. But if you're itchy or something, use a tissue instead to like wipe your nose or to try to wipe your eye. And definitely don't put your fingers in your mouth. The only thing that should be in your mouth right now that you should be putting inside of your body is either food or drinks like water and such. But your fingers should not be going in your mouth. Another important thing too is to stay in contact with friends and family members. And you can definitely write down and make a list of family members or friends that you want to talk to or call or maybe even video chat. It's important that we try to stay as connected as we can with our family members and our friends, especially because it's so hard not to be there in person, right? But you trying to stay in contact with them and hearing their voice and checking in with them is very important for not only them, but then also important for you as well. All right, now let's talk about safety when you're outside of the home. So, when you're outside the house, you should never ride on wheels without wearing a helmet. Riding on wheels means either you're riding a scooter, riding a bike, maybe on rollerblades. You should never be riding these things without wearing a helmet or any protective gear. And some of that protective gear can be right your shoulder pads, your knee pads. A helmet for sure is the most important thing, so that if you do were to fall, your head is protected. And wearing gloves is also something that can also be helpful as well. So if you do fall, you don't scrape your hands too. So having that protective equipment is important to have whenever you're riding a scooter or a bike or on rollerblades and such. But whenever or a skateboard, for example. So make sure that you have that protective gear on to make sure that you stay safe. Also, never ride in a car without wearing a seatbelt. A seatbelt is one of the safest things, the easiest and safest thing for you to do when you're inside of a car that can protect your life. Um, you should always wear your seatbelt when you're in a car. I know there are some types of buses or vans that do have seatbelts as well. I definitely recommend wearing those seatbelts to when they are provided for you for your safety. Also, never play with fire. Fire can burn your skin away, and it's important that you stay away from all the different sources of fire. There are the sources of fire, like you have a lighter here, can produce fire, matches produce fire, candle, fireplace, a barbecue pit. Make sure that you stay away from all these different sources of fire so that you are not in danger of burning yourself. Never go in water without an older person watching. And by older person, I'm pretty sure they don't mean someone like a grandparent, but just someone that you trust, right? That can supervise you or watch over you while you're swimming, like in a pool or swimming in a tub or something. Make sure that you have someone watching over you and making sure that you're going to be okay. It's very important. I know some pools and such have like a lifeguard available, but the lifeguard shouldn't be the only person that you should trust to watch over you. Definitely have an adult that you know, that you feel comfortable with around you that can watch over you while you go in water. Or when you're at the beach as well is another good example. If you decide to go to the beach, you get in the water, going with someone like an adult that you trust. Never cross the street without checking all ways for traffic, even though your light says it's safe for you to cross the street. Still, it's important for you to look both ways and make sure there isn't any cars that are maybe speeding down super fast and such. Always use your eyes to look around whenever you are walking, whenever you're crossing the street. Never be on your phone. Never feel like you're distracted. Always stay focused because you never know what can happen if you're not looking a specific way. So make sure that you're always using your eyes to look around you to make sure that you're in a safe place, even if it's simple as just crossing the street. Never touch a dog without asking the person in charge. A lot of us may like dogs, some of us don't, which is totally okay. But this goes for pretty much any pet that you see outside that you would want to touch. A lot of us just like to run over and try to touch without asking permission, but it's always important to ask permission of that pet's owner if it's okay for you to pet or touch. So here's some steps that I'll read out to you when you do get into if you do get into a situation like that. What can you do to ask in a very kind way if you can touch that person's pet, whether it be a dog or something else. So always ask first. Step one, ask the person in charge first. The person in charge is the pet owner. Step two, say, may I pet your dog? Step three, if the owner says you may, approach the dog calmly and quietly. And just know, some pet owners can actually say no, that they don't want you to touch their pet, and that's totally okay because it's their pet. And you may feel a little bit sad or a little bit hurt that they didn't let you, but you also have to respect their decision that they don't want to allow you to touch their pet. And people can say that. That's totally fine. Now, if that person does say it's okay for you to touch their pet, then you can go step 4, which is you face the dog or the pet and say hello in a calm voice. You can let the pet or you can let the dog come to you and sniff your hand first. And then you can also pet the dog or pet whatever pet that they have on its shoulder or its chest to make sure that the animal feels comfortable around you, because a lot of animals can be scared of people that they don't know or that they don't feel comfortable with. Some things you should do when you're outside: wearing a mask. As you all know, or some of you have already done it, you've worn a mask when you are outside, maybe if you're going to the grocery store, going out for a walk, or if you're going to work with your parents and such. Wearing a mask right now is very important. And there are different types of masks that are available or that some people wear. Some people wear, like if you see down here, this is a disposable mask, which means it's a mask that you can wear like one time, and then when you're outside, and then when you come back inside, you throw it away so you don't keep it. It's important for these masks, these types of masks, that you throw it away, that you don't keep using them this over and over again, because these masks get dirty after you go outside and use them, and all that air and that dust and stuff gets into the mask. So it's important that you throw away these types of masks, these reusable masks. I mean, these disposable, sorry, not reusable masks, these disposable masks. Reusable masks that a lot of kids are using are masks that are made out of like clothing or made out of like towels or blankets and such. Now, these masks are also okay to wear. What I recommend that you do is, when you do wear your mask outside and you come back inside, take it off and put it to wash. It's important that you wash these masks every time that you use them when you go outside or when you come back from outside, because you want to make sure that the mask is clean next time for you whenever you go outside. So the mask can be made out of, right, clothing or like some type of blanket or towel, or they can look like these bandanas like this kid over here on the right is wearing. To make sure that you wash these in the washer with all your other clothes, and it's safe for you to wash them. It shouldn't be a problem. It's important that you wash them every time when you come back from the outside. Also, keeping 6 feet apart from others. Some of you may have heard of this thing called social distancing, which means that people should be trying to stay apart from each other as best as they can. And what a lot of doctors and a lot of people in medicine are telling us and people that are around our communities is that we should try to be at least 6 feet away from each other. Some of you have maybe already seen this with people lining up, separate from each other. Um, how people distance themselves whenever they're inside of stores and such. But it's important that we try to keep 6 feet apart from other people that we don't know, just for our safety. And just to like have a picture here, that maybe if you can think of putting two shopping carts together next to each other, that's 6 feet apart. Staying at the safe distance wherever you're at, whether like if you're walking at a park or going to the store, it's important that you try your best to stay 6 feet apart from other people. I brought up this again because it's a very easy and simple way that we can do to make sure that our hands stay as clean as we possibly can. There are areas outside where you're able to wash your hands, like maybe public restrooms or um, I know some parks or stores have like their own restrooms too. So a lot of areas still allow people to use like their bathrooms and such. But I definitely recommend that you wash your hands when you're outside as well before like you eat anything. If there isn't any soap and water available around, um, I know hand sanitizer is something that you can also use, um, but definitely have an adult around you for them to give you a right amount of sanitizer of hand sanitizer for you to use for so that you can have your hands clean as best as you can. And that pretty much wraps up summer safety. What are some tips and recommendations and reminders of how you and your family can stay safe when you are inside of the home or whether you are outside of the home going on a walk or exploring the world. So hope you all have a wonderful and safe summer. We look forward to seeing all of you back in the fall. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.